April 2nd, 2016. The release date of the first episode of the first series, heck, the first video I ever uploaded to YouTube, and time shows it. A big thanks to Roger Van Der Weide again for taking the time to sit in on this, what can only be described as an amateur project of mine. Now, I know you didn't all come here to see me ramble on about how old the channel is, so without further ado, let's dive in to the Vintage Collection.
Hey everyone, it's Orion the Starhog, and welcome to the Let's Play of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I am being joined today with one of my regulars, Torch of Irony, and two guest stars. However, I must admit that I am not the leader of this project, so I pass the leadership baton onto my first guest star.
I am Orion's brother. I guess for the sake of this Let's Play, you can just go ahead and call me Bro Ryan, as most of his friends call me, I guess. Or you can just call me Orion's brother. It doesn't really matter to me. This project of mine this really is kind of my project in a way, because what I really wanted to do is that with all the craziness going around the Sonic franchise recently, I really wanted to give a Let's Play of this game, just because it's really the era of Sonic where you could actually take him seriously, where he had a story and a background, and I think something like that, it's been mocked a lot, but I think I wanted to do was bring in a sense of appreciation for what Sonic became over the years. So in order to help me do that, I asked somebody who I'm a very big fan of, and he graciously has decided to join us, Roger Van Der Weide of the Sonic Dissected series, and of course you all know him as the guy who's from Sonic in Minutes. So Roger, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem. Hi.
So first thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to do the traditional way of doing things. We're going to just go ahead and start with the hero story. And so we begins. Sonic has been captured by the military. Now, this is pretty much where the seriousness of the series already begins. There's government conspiracies and all that stuff that everybody likes to make fun of all the time. But every adventure has to start somewhere.
Oh, it's very light.
It's a helicopter.
Energy and all.
He lives.
Oh, there's Torch. Hey, Torch.
Sorry, guys. I'm Torch. Hi, guys.
Say hi to Roger.
Hello, Roger. Good to see you. Oh my goodness,
Torch.
Sonic jailbroke.
Alright. Hi, Torch. Good to not see you.
Hey,
Sonic.
good to hear me, right? Good to hear me. It's across the internet.
All right. So what was it you were saying, Roger?
This is really serious. I mean, it has serious ingredients, but how it's played off is just super wacky and energetic and fun. Like this I don't count as serious or anything.
Well, jumping out of a helicopter, how serious can you really take that?
Pretty seriously, actually, considering that if you don't land just the right way, you're gonna die. That Sonic does right here and now.
Well, even the military, it's played mostly for laughs, or at least for spectacle. It's not really super serious military. It's super cool military, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at those cars you just annihilated right there.
Yeah,
with
well, I'm
one
not
move.
good. I'm not good at a PlayStation controller. With this whole playthrough, we're essentially using Xbox control scheme with a PlayStation controller. So of course everything's super slippery and all that nice stuff that I use to handicap myself during the Let's Play.
Oh boy.
This is why you always trust GameStop for their hotline products.
Alright,
Hashtag
please.
not really.
GameStop loves to just bring a whole bunch of junk. I think I've had 6 GameCube controllers break just from getting their stuff.
They like the idea of pre-owned, and that oftentimes means that someone decides, hey, I can bring in my broken PS4 controller and hope that someone will buy it, or PS2 or whatever.
It was new in the package.
Well then I don't know what to help you with that. Oh sweet, that was tight, bro.
Yeah, and that's part of, I guess that's part of, now we have all the different amazing, awesome stuff that they put for just pushing the button a bunch of times, but that's something that, if you think about it, it's been in part of a Sonic for a long time now. I mean, even since the Sonic Adventure 2. You have the awesome, amazing, spectacular sort of thing, and it really gives a sense of you just did something awesome. It's just kind of been more exaggerated in modern day Sonic as opposed to the Adventure, where you just it's more pure platforming.
And in this game, we've got animals.
Arcade-like, right? It's it give you point and all that. It makes it more arcadey than platforming.
You know, I have to admit, in terms of 3D, this game feels a lot like the older Sonic games, and probably is the closest thing so far, not including Sonic Generations, that has come to that feel of the old Sonic games, in terms of the 3D kind of aspect, like we have here. and I will admit, like wholeheartedly, the Sonic Adventure 2 is by far the better of the two Sonic Adventure games. Sonic Adventure was Sonic's first advent into 3D, but let's be honest here, that was Dreamcast. There was a lot of issues with it, and oh goodness, not as bad as Sonic 06, mind you, but oh my goodness, it's a car or a truck.
Not the truck.
It's a truck.
I love Sonic Adventure 1 for its concepts and all, but this is indeed more streamlined and comfortable to play, I suppose. Yeah.
The platforming is more. I don't know. It's. I think even with all the control problems and the little glitches here and there, the platforming is. It feels smoother. Would you say? Okay, wait. I have to smack the truck back just because I need to show because Big the Cat is there. Oh my God.
Hey, it's me.
I love this cameo.
Like I don't know if you know this, Roger, but apparently what is it, Orion, that if you
mash the A button in I think they took it out in the GameCube versions, but if you mash the A button in quite a few cutscenes, you will actually see Big pop up like pretty much.
He'll run across the screen.
He'll run across the screen. He'll fall from places. In the helicopter scene, but I think they took it out. He would pop his head out the helicopter and look at Sonic like, "Are you nuts? Get back in here, man!"
This isn't the GameCube version, though. Apparently, to my knowledge, the GameCube version removed all references to Big the Cat, whereas all other versions, including the Dreamcast version, had Big the Cat everywhere. So I'm not sure. I would have to confirm that online. But first of all, we got a boss.
Well, they didn't take away Big the Cat from just now.
Yeah, This is the Steam version that we use, so it's the Xbox
port. Yeah,
version, I guess.
It's me, Big the Foot, or Big the Cat, the Foot Cat.
No,
Big the Cat Foot.
So after this, obviously, we're gonna run into everybody's favorite characters to love/hate.
Love/hate.
Shadow.
Hate to love or love to hate. Personally, I love this guy. He's like a soft teddy bear. Misunderstood, to mind you, but... Aw, man, you would do it so well.
Oh, you have seen nothing yet.
Oh, yeah,
when Tails and Eggman show up, things just explode with failure.
I keep trying to play... See, this is the problem. I keep trying to be like all show-offy, doing spin dashes to avoid stuff, and in doing so, I just sabotage myself and get hit in the face.
Now, the problem is you're too used to having the power-ups. Like, normally you just ancient light this and be done with it.
Also, we should be frank here. We are, as was made apparent by Ryan's comment, this is all post commentary to this, but that doesn't matter. It's still fun. We're still gonna talk about Sonic because we love Sonic. He's a blue hedgehog who doesn't afraid of anything, except maybe the police.
Well, when they get
guns
shot in his face.
Yeah,
here we go.
It all starts with this.
Shadow before Shadow, I guess.
This power level is over 9,000.
Shadow, when you could take him seriously.
Oh, hello there, Sonic.
Well, that's the thing, is that Shadow nowadays is just like this, I don't know, like he's a symbol of what used to be, I guess. Like this whole idea of let's take it seriously. There's more stuff going on underneath the surface than what appears to be. Nowadays you see Shadow and you're thinking, oh well, I guess we're gonna have to be like all edgy and serious and stuff, but that's just it's just the elements of what used to be. Like you don't care about modern day Shadow. You don't really. There's nothing invested into him. He just is.
He's just there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. If he was just there, he wouldn't have his own video game, Shadow the Hedgehog. But
that's what I'm saying, man. It's that Shadow before the modern, after Shadow and 06 and all that stuff, all of what made Shadow, his backstory, his past, all of these things that made you like the character to begin with, it all disappeared because it's like, well, now it's just Shadow is angry, Shadow is all these things, but his backstory, the arc, all that stuff it's just gone. And think about just this scene with Knuckles, like the Master Emerald, that's not there anymore. His rivalry with Rouge is not there anymore. It's just he just is.
If I'm right, this is actually the last game we actually hear about this this stupid rock.
No, Sonic.
They bring it up later.
Yeah, they
It's
talk
the
about
last
it.
time we see it, I think. Well, except Sonic Advance 3.
Well, I don't technically count that because like there's no point to it. It's kind of just it's like Shadow. It's kind of just there.
Yeah, they
true.
didn't do anything with the Master Emerald in Sonic Advance 3 that I remember, other than it just made an appearance to remind you, oh yeah, the Master Emerald.
I kind of like how Eggman just kind of decides to
Just
steal
goes
it just
limp.
for the heck of it. I like it when he's just opportunative. Just
Knuckles,
takes an
why did you-
opportunity.
Knuckles just pulled like a Mario, just with like, yeah, high jump. Suck.
He can do that stuff. He's Knuckles. Well, before he became, as you would call him, Roger Bob. So,
Pretty
and
much.
it really hurts for me because Knuckles and Shadow in particular, those guys, those were the ones that I related to the most. Just growing up, I thought that there was a lot of me in Knuckles. Like I could relate to him. Like the guy who was always like, he's kind of on his own. He's kind of just trying to figure things out by himself. He's dealing with his own sort of deal. And now
He's like the man's man, you know, constantly he devotes himself to a duty. He doesn't like being social. He just wants to have a mission and focus on that. I recognize that in a lot of men, and my dad and my uncle.
there's a lot of me in Knuckles, and I think he resonated with a lot of people. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe I am a little. I don't want to call myself the oddball, but it's like I felt like Knuckles was me in a lot of ways. The name that I used on the internet for a very long time. It's because of Knuckles. I love Knuckles. I love what he stood for. And nowadays, I look at Knuckles and I'm just like, where is that guy? He's just not there anymore. It's just angry random person or the Sonic Boom incarnation, which I feel like is even worse.
Let's not even talk about Sonic Boom and what they did to basically the entire Sonic cast.
No,
They made Amy into like, I don't even know what they did with Amy. Shadow appeared like once, but
No, with
even
Sonic
then, he
Boom,
was-
they broke all the characters. Like, Tails
That's
is
what-
really
that's-
the only
that's what
one
I'm-
intact.
That's what I'm saying, is that they broke all the characters. Oh, by the way, that was the quickest I've seen that done ever at one stage.
That's because we use logical thought for Wild Canyon. Actually, it's with all the Emerald stages, to be honest, because all the Emerald stages, no two Emeralds are ever really near each other. So we go left, go right, it's not there, okay, switch it.
Oh,
Cool.
Y'all know what you're doing, apparently.
I've played this game inside and out more times than I can count. I mean, this game really is my favorite Sonic game other than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's just, it's a perfect blend of story, gameplay, all that stuff that people nowadays, they don't really seem to appreciate anymore. Something about it not aging well. I mean, it all depends on your personal tastes. I personally think it did a pretty good job, except for certain parts of it that I could do without, like Mad Space. Like that I could have done without.
Yeah. It's a great experience game, yeah. Yeah,
Let
the
me- I just
problem
wanna-
I think with the characters of modern time is that they take away things that annoys them. They don't really put anything in place. Like they're like, okay, Amy's kind of annoying, so take that part of her personality out of her. But then they don't really have anything alternative to put into place. Or
Yeah, no,
Knuckles.
yeah, I hear you. Although in Knuckles, they tried that with Sonic Boom to make him like someone different, but in terms of that no.
No,
Just
with
no.
Knuckles they stereotyped, because now he's like this big old muscly dude, but
They're all no. You know what it is? They're all stereotypes, and I think you would agree with me on this, Roger. It's like all the characters now have become this essentially is a stereotype. You see Sonic, he's the stereotypical cool guy. He's bored by everything. He thinks he's awesome, all that stuff. Tails is the stereotypical smart kid. All of his inventions backfire all the time. Knuckles is the stereotypical buff dumb jock, and Amy is stereotypical feminist. I don't know what to call Sticks.
stereotypical psycho.
Random.
Go. But the next time we meet,
But yeah, I think the problem with Knuckles is he is a little stupid, but he's stupid because he's so focused on his mission. But when you take his mission away from him, he doesn't really have a reason or an origin for his attitude or actions, and it makes him so aimless now. Like, I don't mind Knuckles being a little dumb, but it needs to come from something. You kind of need to recognize it.
I personally think, Knuckles back then was like sort of stubborn, as it were, because of his duty-bound nature, of being stubborn and pig-headed, no matter, like, doing his duty no matter what, which is great, don't get me wrong. But that's what led to his stupidity there, because he would be like, I'm gonna fight you because I think you have the Chaos Emeralds, like he's like in Sonic Adventure. But
Exactly.
oh, by the way,
yeah.
did we just glossed over that Tails and Knuckles fight, or Tails and Eggman fight? Sorry, now we're in prison Prison Lane.
That's because it's not even worth it. Like I just shot the crap out of Eggman, and that's the end of it.
That's pretty much how most of the boss battles work. Like, okay, how
these boss battles, yeah.
Well, yeah, but the character battles, I guess we could call it, because it's
character battles.
Yeah, like where you fight the polar opposite. Tails fighting Eggman, Sonic fighting Shadow. But it's like, how fast can I beat in your head? That's pretty much the character battles.
The only issue I have with the character battles would be the one coming up late game between Knuckles and Rouge. That one, to me, took quite a while my first time, because she would just fly around, do all the kind of things I don't.
Yeah.
Hang on, guys, hang on. We have to have it in a connection.
No, here's what I don't understand. I wasn't even. Back. Here's what I don't understand though. Why is it doing that? I'm not connected to anything. Unless it's like constantly updating leaderboards on me, there really was nothing to connect to.
Probably was leaderboards, all things considered.
Or security.
The severely. Well, no, because like anyone can check my library, it's in there. But it's like the leaderboards aren't even worth it anymore, because I look at City Escape, I see points that are in numbers that aren't even real numbers. Like I see, is that 1 billion? No, there's like 7 more zeros. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Just let it go through with it.
Probably mods.
Or hacks.
Yeah, same
or
thing,
both.
Yeah, both.
Save editors.
It doesn't matter. You know, I think of something, I don't know, maybe I feel like I'm missing something here, but I think the tank idea was actually something that it could have been utilized a little bit better. Just thinking to myself, what if, I really think it would have been cool if it had been more along the lines of Gamma gameplay. I feel like what they did here is that this is part where Sonic Adventure actually is superior, because I feel like Gamma's gameplay for shooting was smoother than Tails. Right now, it just kind of feels like... Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? It's like, Gamma is like his rolling mode. It makes it that he's smoother moving, his shooting, his aiming is... It's more fluid, because he can do a full 360 without having to turn his tank around. But with Tails, it's like you have to do like the tank has to do a complete 180 in order to shoot the opposite direction, so it's harder to get a beat on things.
And by then, your target's probably either killing you or gone.
I don't know about you, but that kind of... it promotes challenge, maybe not the kind of challenge you'd like, and I agree, maybe it's a little unfair, but like, I don't know, I kind of enjoy it for what it is, despite the fact that, yeah, I agree, Gamma's gameplay is better in several regards.
Well, there's a difference between challenge and control failure, and this is probably that borderline.
There's, in my line of work, there are two types of difficulty. Difficulties with technical difficulties and specific difficulty. And more often than not, with a video game, you want to have specific difficulty, because that's the more of the kind that's like, oh yeah, this part of the game is hard because it's actually meant to be that way. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be challenging. It's meant to challenge a player. Versus like technical difficulty, where it's like, oh, the control scheme is bad or some other thing like that. Also, we beat the stage. Yay!
Yeah, I know. I'm good with the game. That's set. I'm just
usually
I'm part of the good with the game.
Like, don't praise yourself too high.
Yeah, you got in the yellow at one point or another with Tails' health.
Well, the problem with that was, notice what he got hit with primarily. It was those swooper enemies where you have to practically memorize the stage.
Oh, here we go.
1 sec.
Huh? Amy?
Keep your voice down. Have no fear. Amy Rose is here.
Yep, sure is. Okay.
I love how Sonic throws his hands in the air from, oh, never mind. I wasn't gonna bother.
I love the camera. What's with the camera angle there? It's like, you saw how it kind of went from the bottom up. It's almost like I'm probably gonna get smacked by Orion by saying this, but it almost looked like Sonic. It looked like it was from Sonic's point of view, and he was actually checking her out. Yeah, I just got punched in the...
Where's the football?
Good job, Amy.
I mean, you and Luke, when you're dissected, you pretty much went through the whole idea of what Amy was doing. I actually agree with what you said there, is that the idea is that Amy is really not this dumb, it's just that she's putting on an act, and it seems to make sense given who she is and what happened in the previous episode, the Sonic Adventure.
One little nitpick that I have is, where the heck did she get that key card to open the cell?
Tails.
That's a good question. Well, maybe she also had an action level that we didn't get to see.
Oh, yeah.
The ether, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
There is that, though. Roger brought it up. There are rumors that Amy was supposed to be a playable character, but I guess production values. They said, look, we have 3 characters here, we have 3 characters there. Fitting in Amy wouldn't be a wise idea.
Originally, there were only 3 characters, right? So they were already kind of screwing around until very late in.
Cut.
There's a lot of clipping with the deaths because obviously we don't want to bore everybody by going back to the exact same place twice.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of cuts. Like if I die like in the middle of a stage, we'll just kind of recut it so that it's back to where we were.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got your back, folks, gentlemen, ladies, people. Of the oh goodness, explosions. Oh yeah, all you hedgehog, you like is it personas or fursonas? Oh, what's the difference, right?
It depends. I don't know.
Everyone has chaos powers. Everyone.
Well, that's part of the issue nowadays with Sonic is that everybody. I mean, back then, I don't know, like the late 2000s or something, or even before that, all these fan characters came out. All these fursonas, these Sonic OCs. It's part of the reason why a lot of the Sonic community, I think, is split nowadays because you have all these crazy fan fictions where Sonic is paired up with random person we don't even know, or you have this story here where, well, Sonic and Knuckles are getting it on someplace, and that's just weird beyond all belief. So, and of course,
no.
The irony is that most of those personas are made by children, but then people who are annoyed by it are angry because Sonic is supposed to be for children. That they don't see that as children entertainment and then are against it. So it's a weird situation.
Yeah,
especially young fans that kind of do that stuff.
It's kind of and I don't mean to switch topics here and to go to a complete different series of games, but like. It kind of reminds me of what some folks like to do with like Fakemon, like fake Pokemon. It's like I'm gonna create this character because I feel A, creative, and B, like, you know, this would be kind of a cool idea. It's like nothing wrong with that, but like it's just that well, okay, how far does your creativity stem, and like how far can it go? And honestly, the fact that they've created these OCs to begin with is because they love that series. Like they love Pokemon, they love Sonic with the OCs there. Don't even get me started with Undertale, by the way. Yeah, that's generally interesting. Like, also you keep getting that seal. I don't think that seal is beneficial to you.
Yeah, I just grab it.
There's a lot of things we actually missed here. Like, behind this chow box, if we were to go backwards, there's a pillar back there. Big's actually on top of that. We missed a lot of cameos. Actually, I'm gonna come back with an extra video. Like, all the cameos we actually missed.
Yeah, he's in almost every level, isn't he?
Yeah,
So that'll be a lot of work.
Well, it's not gonna be
Grab
like
the Phoenix and go!
Well, it's not gonna be like a video montage running through every stage, because like the stages are pretty recognizable at certain points, so you kind of get the idea where I'm going with this. So if you want to go see them for yourself, you kind of just head for that location that looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time he's just fishing somewhere, so it's not super exciting. The first one is the funniest when he's running away from the truck.
I think there's one where he's exploding though. Yeah, you saw it.
There's one supposedly in Meteor. He's not exploding, but he's in like that where you're running on the floor with Knuckles over those glass panes that show your footsteps. He's actually hanging. You were like 310 points off. He's actually hanging off of like a bar on the wall, like hanging for dear life. Like, oh, that's gonna hurt if I fall down.
Well, big torture is nowadays one of the biggest things that they do. I mean, you look at all the stuff that they're doing. You see the Game Grumps making jokes with Big the Cat. You see the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account making all these jokes with just Big the Cat. I mean, he's become. I don't even know what Big is a symbol for anymore. I don't have a word for it.
I would call him a satirical piece, but that's just me. As people have a love-hate relationship. People like Big the Cat because he's funny, or people don't like him because he's dumb. You know, that's kind of the general gist of the argument between them. Two sides of the same coin.
I think it's just now used as a symbol for when Sonic went wrong or something. And too many characters, and he's representative of that.
So we basically just say, well, let's just throw in Big the Cat here to make a rap, or Big the Cat to go find like a Where's Waldo type of thing with Sonic and all the Big the Cats, and so it's. I've seen. Let's just say I've seen enough of Big the Cat for the past 3 years.
Yeah,
I
I need to give him a
disagree.
break, poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. I disagree with Big the Cat being like with the point that we had to make characters, because back in the day, before Sonic Adventure even, they had a bunch of like, back in the old times, they had like a bunch of like other characters out there that nowadays no one even knows or remembers. It's just, there were a lot of characters back then, like Team Chaotix. No one's heard of them and up until like Heroes, when they became their own team. But like beyond that, you know,
popped
they were
in
relatively unheard of.
Generations.
But no,
Well,
but it wasn't.
I mean, they were in generations after that, but like I'm talking about like between the original Sonics and then the next game in the sequential series, like which was Heroes, and then of course Generations brought them back because Generations is a montage of all of them. But yeah, no, it's just, you know, where do these characters come from and where do they go? The answer is obscurity or in the bin of like of satire.
Well, some are hard to work into them, like what do you do with Ray the Squirrel or something, unless you make him an NPC. Although I love to see Neck as a boss or something, like a sub-boss. That'd be great.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of the original characters that they came up with, that the Sonic team came up with, you know, back in action, but that would require a lot
An
of
adventure
like,
game.
A writer who cares about this series and knows about it.
yeah, and let's be honest, we have not had one of those in a while.
Not since before Colors.
Okay, this episode's running long. Let's switch to the next one.
We will see you
Absolutely.
all in the next episode.
Take care, y'all.